Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
What's up, friends? Welcome back to the TV Terminal. My name's Adam Vale, senior editor over at thecoalition.com.
My name is Josh Lamage, writer for the Koalition. How's everybody doing tonight?
I hope they're hyped. We were hyped jumping into this for a long time, waiting for this show. This is Chief of War, Season 1, Episode 1 and 2, because a lot happened in Episode 1. A lot of talking, setting things in motion. Some action toward the end, which we'll get into. But, man, that's Episode 2, bananas, everything that's going on here. Some unexpected things some people may not know. At least for the first 2 episodes, it's all in Hawaiian, right? That's it. Yeah, later on you get some English from some of the visitors, but yeah, for the most part, there's a lot of subtitles. So
I hope you could read, but it's worth it.
That's the thing. You get people 50-50 when it comes to this. It's not like they don't want to read. Well, no, they don't want to read. They get lazy. They're tired. They're like, yo, I just want to see some killing, some action. Momoa is going to do some craziness, right? Yes, to all of that. But yeah, you got to read. And go ahead. Just right off the bat, what's the historical accuracy for this?
Okay, so it seems to be pretty legit so far. This is an epic adventure. It begins at the turn of the 18th century when the 4 major kingdoms of Hawaii were in a state of war. It is based on the true story of Kana, a war chieftain who travels to the outside world and learns more about the men invading his island home. Knowing the separate kingdoms will eventually crumble under the weight of foreign interests, he returns home and joins a bloody campaign to unite the warring islands in order to save them from destruction. Whoa.
That's rough. That's a lot going on. Yeah, it's a lot because it's the 4 kingdoms, right? So we have Maui, we have Hawaii, right? Mm-hmm. We have Kauai, and then
Oahu.
All right. So Kana, which is a chief of war, that's his title also, but that's Jason Momoa, right? He was working for his uncle, who was the chief and still is at this point in these episodes of Maui, right? His dad was also at the time also the current chief of war. There was a big battle. Something happened. They don't go too much into it, but dad died in that battle, and now it's enough. Momoa's character, Kana, I'm blowing this bad. Kayana. I had it all down packed before. Now I'm disappointed. Kayana.
Hey, as we go on with this show, we'll get these names more down.
We're gonna get them down.
No disrespect to pronunciation or anything. We're really trying.
Correct.
Kayana.
And we'll also try to make this a little simpler for those who are also trying to remember all the names with titles. So the chief of Maui is his uncle. Right, so we'll call him Uncle. So anyway, when Kawana leaves, because he was like, I'm done with that, takes his family, he's got his 2 brothers, their wives and stuff. They live in their own kingdom, have their own thing going on. But he gets a visit from his I guess you call him his nephew, right? Because if it's his uncle's kid, right? But he's the prince who shows up.
You know, there's a part of me that was wondering if like calling each other uncle in that sense was just a term of endearment. Like, are we actually blood related? You know,
because at one point later on, he says that, "Oh, I saw you as family." This is what Uncle is saying to him.
So he grew up with him. He was close with their father. Whether he's their actual blood uncle or not, I'm not sure. But yeah, it seems that whatever they've been doing in Maui, it just proved to be too much for Kayana, and he had to leave. Yeah, and so he escaped, and it was almost like equivalent to going AWOL. He was, a chief of war there, and he left.
Mm-hmm. And apparently, that's the thing that threw me off with this, is that they said that they were looking for him. So then I guess, you're going to arrest him then, if that's, take him custody, do whatever they do at the time. Because remember when they show up on the beach and it was like, we found you and this and this and that. But then he was like, you know what? Doesn't matter, because Uncle wants to see you back in Maui. They need your help. All right, we're going against a force. They have a big army, right? It's like twice the size of what Maui has. This is going to impact all the kingdoms, all this craziness. He starts telling him all this.
They're saying basically Oahu has a giant army twice the size, and he's confused because he's like, well, basically Oahu is under control of a young chief. He's like, I know him very well. Like, he's never had any problems with us. But they're saying that the king of Oahu is being, I guess, manipulated by a high priest.
Yeah.
And
One
so,
of those stories is like, oh, there's someone whispering in his ear. Very plausible. We've seen that in the Tales of Time, right? That's always happening. That there's a young king takes rule, and then he needs someone that can guide him, and that person is just manipulating the young king, the young prince, or whatever taking place.
yeah, but especially setting the stage for this whole thing, it just seems that Kana has started a new life. He has a wife, or a girl, I guess. In the beginning of the episode, they were talking about having kids and hopefully having a kid one day. And we see him in his hut or tent or whatever. He's setting up his stuff, and a little boy walks up to him and he's like, why do you have these tribal robes? Why do you have these like this
It was
outfit
some markings.
here
It was the whole outfit and the colors.
the markings, his tattoos and everything. But he's like, why is your stuff Maui, but you're here in Kauai?
Yeah.
And he doesn't answer the kid. And
Just
they
mind your
start joking.
business. Mind your business. Stop snooping. Remember, his brother was chasing some off, calling them rats and stuff like that, or some dogs. That was it. Stray dogs. Get off, stray dogs.
But
Get
that's when the prince, the son of the king of Maui right now, shows up and requests his his attendance. And then when he gets there, he sees his uncle, or and he travels with his other two brothers, or I would think they're his brothers. I don't know if that's another term of endearment for them.
But I think so, because he's the king uncle had said that they had the same ugly face or something like that. He cracked some joke. Right? He's trying, as their father. So it is what it is. But he shows up. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, he shows up, and when he shows up, it was really cool because you see this whole camp going on. All the warriors are like working on their techniques and just preparing for battle. And you could tell everyone's kind of pissed that Kayana's walking in. One guy with a spear.
Because he was their chief of war also. Like, that was the other part. We have his dad that was a chief of war, but then also he was a chief of war. And that's the main reason why he's being brought in. But yeah, everybody's got their own little things like, oh, look at this traitor, whatever, he's come back. And then, of course, there's one big dude, right? Big dude staring him down. And that's enough to do the challenge. Because one of the things that that he noticed is that they're being trained with blunt spears and not the sharp spears. And he's pretty much saying to his brothers, oh, they went soft. Look at these guys. So then the guy was like, oh, all right, let's go then. And that was a pretty awesome scene because he starts throwing these spears at him. And he's just swatting them all. He caught one. He threw that one. He pulled the Bruce Leroy, when he caught the arrow. Same type of thing. He throws down. He's swatting all the other ones away, takes them down. He breaks his arm. He pierces them. He just mutilates this dude.
I gotta say, I love the action so far in this show. It's
very Spartacus,
but it's like real. It's not like over. I don't know. It just seems so visceral, and it's
gritty because they don't have all the fancy weapons. This is it. This is spears. There's not even blades. It's spears and blunt objects, right? His other weapon is like a bat with like teeth,
like a mallet with teeth.
A mallet and teeth. I mean, one of the scenes that we saw that we didn't even really get into because it was such a cool opening is that we see that they were fishing and he jumps off into the ocean, right? They put bait everywhere just for a shark to come, and then he wraps around a rope around the shark, and then he rides this shark.
And he rubbed its gills with like some kind of like poison or some kind of plant.
Yeah, he poisoned it. He poisoned it, and then he did a little prayer type of deal. It was like, thanks, whatever. And he took it out. But man, that was a badass scene. And then here follows another badass scene, this whole fight sequence. And he humbles this big dude. And then, of course, the uncle, big king of Maui, sees it and is like, oh, you're back. All right, let's talk.
So we meet the king here. His name's King Kaikili. Kaikili.
Yeah, I don't want to butcher these names, man. I really don't.
Played by he was in Star Wars.
Boba Fett. He's a legend. He is a legend, this actor. I can't believe we knew his name at the time. I should pull it up. Oh boy. But he's in this. And I've seen him in so many other things besides Boba Fett. I think he's from New Zealand.
His accent with this is amazing. He obviously put in the work for his character,
for everyone.
Did they speak? I mean, I don't know if these actors are fluent in this previously, but this is
it's a different dialect, even though I'm pretty sure he's from Australia and New Zealand, but still, regardless, he has to know this dialect, and I'm sure that
maybe he speaks Maorin, right?
Yeah. It's definitely not easy. There's a learning to this whole process. So respects to everybody involved, all the actors, because this couldn't have been easy to pull this off, especially if they're not fluent.
But I think we have a slide of the picture, so we see the king, and he's excited to see them. Kana gives him a gift. It's like a blade looking thing with shark teeth on it. So basically, the shark teeth are the edges of this stone weapon as a gift. Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
And he does this with each of them. He like puts his head to them, and like.
But didn't he say that belonged to his dad? Wasn't that the whole deal?
No, that's later on.
That's later
weapon.
on. All right.
He gifted them a shark toothed weapon.
Yeah.
Because he had to come with an offering, I guess. Because he obviously doesn't know what the situation is. I don't know if he's walking into enemy territory with this. Presumably, I guess he's fine enough to walk back and see them.
I mean, yeah, they didn't lock him up. Like that's the only iffy part of this story. It's at one point they're saying that the prince guy said, "Oh, we had to find you. We had to search for you, and I found you now. If you ever try to leave, I'll find you again." Yeah, called him a traitor. Starts talking all this smack to him. But then once he gets here, the king is like, "Hey, welcome back, and hey, this is good. All right, we need you. Your people need you." And then that's when he gives the whole spiel about the young king. He's got this dark priest that's spitting all the stuff in his ear. He accumulated this massive army. Now, right off the bat, I thought there was something wrong. Because how do you not know this? How do you let an army get double the size?
Massive, especially with how close everything seems to be.
Exactly. It seems like where are you getting this population from? And then I was thinking, well, maybe it's from the outside. Maybe this is where we see the British soldiers stuff. Maybe they work together. It's like, hey, there's other islands. We work together. I will help you conquer, and then you can do all the stuff, get all the goods that you want. Maybe at this point we're thinking maybe that's possible. But basically saying that this is his calling. He's telling him, you need to do this. This is part of the prophecy. You're linked to the prophecy.
Yeah, he was like our royal seer. So they have seers. For those of you that don't know, seer is basically, a right-hand person that dabbles in the arts of spirituality, and they can see, hopefully, the things
Rasputin, witch or warlock. I mean, they've had different names. Merlin, you name it. They've had the titles. But this is the issue that I had with this. Not much of an issue, I should say. I got to stop saying that. Just question: is the seer really there? Because we see it's this woman, and she's popped up numerous times between both
they all seem to know who she is.
Yeah, but then she disappears. So is she even really there? Are they just seeing it? It's in their head. Is it just an inner voice type of deal that's going on? I don't know, because no one really acknowledges this seer.
But they know her. They know her first name basis. So it has to be a word thing. I mean, I don't think she's real based on things that happen later on, but it's like, I mean, it's the same fashion as like the show Vikings, which is really cool with this, but they would have like this blind person that would tell them what was happening, and he would look at the bones and
you
remember all that stuff.
And
then he would like vanish sometimes. So it's like that kind of vibe to it. It's a very mystical prophecy still.
But you know what? This still isn't enough. None of this is working for Kana. So he was like, "Oh," his uncle was like, "Hey, I got something else for you. I got something that's gonna really sell you on all of this." And he brings him to this cave area, and it's his father's remains. And then he was like, "Oh, they desecrated. They did all this stuff to it. They ruined it, but I saved them. I saved a lot of these parts, and it's for you. I'm doing this for you. We got to get back."
They did to him.
Look what they did. It's like they've really gone off the deep end. We have to take them down.
So everything revolves around a prophecy, and this prophecy is something, I guess, a story that's been passed down, and it's basically just like something about the rising sun and a warrior that's going to come and unite the kingdoms and this whole thing. And it's like this really deep prophecy that they all have known about, and it kind of waited for a while. And right now, Kahekili is basically saying that, you're the rising sun. Oh, well, I'm the sun, and you're the rising feathers, the red feathers.
Yeah.
And this is the prophecy coming true. I see it. With you by my
He
side,
sees it. He
we'll do
wants him
this.
by his side. And he's tired of all this. But this was the trigger. Once you get his father involved, family in general, that's pretty much the trigger for everyone, right? That's it. You could say, I don't want to fight. They killed your family, or they wanted to ops, then let's go.
But also,
hell,
he's saying let's
John
end
Wick, it
this.
was a dog.
But he's saying let's end this on the basis of peace. That's what he's leading him with, because Kayane doesn't want to fight anymore. It seems like he doesn't want to mercilessly kill for no reason anymore.
No, he doesn't. Well, that's the other thing. He was like, well, I have a plan. I already have a plan. He's getting around the fire, the whole thing. He starts talking about it. It's like, the plan is we're gonna go through the backside area while one army goes through the front. We will go right straight to the temple. We'll find this priest, capture the priest, and then that'll just get the young king to quit, right? It was like, oh wow, you got my high priest, so now that's it, and no bloodshed, or at least minimal bloodshed. Case closed. But no, it doesn't work out that way.
He was like, the prophecy will start with the fall of Oahu.
Yeah.
And then they cut right to it. No breaker. They leave. They leave one person behind, which I believe is the wife of one of Kai's brothers.
One of his brother's wives. She stays. The other one goes. She's really good with a sling.
Yeah.
That was pretty badass. Because that's the other thing. It's like, well, they're having all this conversation doing that. They really wasted no time, because then they get right into the action.
Right into the action. Yeah. So this is Heka. She stays behind.
Yeah. Can I go? No, you can't. It's best you stay here.
But mind you, let's keep in mind she's in Maui too. So they leave Maui to go to Oahu.
Yeah, they all travel. Yeah, that's where it gets a little tricky with all this too. They all left the mainland, their place, but then they went to Maui, but to a different part, right? Because that's where they went back for the campfire, and then the brothers and they all talked, and they were like, "Here's the plan," But she stays back. But hey, once they get to where they need to go, which is over to Oahu. Right? Once they get to the shores, I mean, this is almost like a full-on battle, almost a Normandy type of situation, because the other group was there waiting. And it's like, what happened to the plan of going through the side and having another group? It was just straight on, let's just fight. Very 300, just two armies, two forces just colliding.
Yeah, the tactics were very Spartan-like too, with the spear wall.
They had the spear wall. First it was jab, 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 jab. Then it was launch projectiles, and then the slingshots, and tons of brutal kills.
That was so cool. They would launch the spear in the air. Then everyone would look up at the spears, and then they had the women throw the slingshot, the rocks with the slings, while they were distracted.
No shields. That's one thing I noticed, and I was like, well, okay. I guess if everyone's on the same page of just using the spears and some melee bat type weapons, I guess it's all right. But
no armor.
No armor either. Yeah, no armor either. That's it. You gotta really work out, get jacked. That's your armor, your strength.
Yeah,
your strength, because that and endurance. Because man, they were going at it, especially a lot of these scenes. You're seeing he's breaking necks. He's smashing heads. He's bashing. He's a lot of cool kills. If you're one of those into cool kills and deaths, this was it. This was up there with a lot of that. Gladiator.
Yeah, the king gave him a weapon which was like, it has like teeth on it or something. Like, I don't know if it's human teeth or anything, but it's like
it couldn't have been human teeth. I mean, it's not.
It looked like some kind of it looked like molars, but it's like.
Yeah, maybe, but definitely some shark teeth. But he was just chopping away.
Yeah, he was butchering, and it's not like slices. Like, he was clubbing them and like really getting at it. Like the action. This is A tier.
Yeah,
very good.
Yep. But there's a twist. There was a twist.
Bum,
yeah, because once they get to the top, right, they had a few more jump out at them, some from the trees, others hiding in the bush. But I think it was his brother. One of his brothers comes. He's like, "Yo, these are farmers. These aren't soldiers. They don't know what they're doing. Look how they're attacking us."
It's like, it's too easy. Like,
right, this is too easy. We just like running through.
I was thinking that too. I'm like, these guys are just OP right now. Like,
a part of me wasn't too sure, because they were already at the shore. They were waiting for it. So, well, his uncle said that they had double the forces, the amount of people. So yeah, it makes sense. All right, then they have a bunch waiting, but no, it didn't add up toward the end of that. He was like, all right, well, where's everybody else? It's like, oh no, somebody came running. He was like, oh, the uncle just showed up. He's like, why?
Yeah, they blew a conch horn and he's showing up, and there was like, we told him to wait until we found the the king, and yep.
Nope. He had his own plans. He shows up. He just whacks one of the surviving guys that's over on the beach. Children. He's killing everybody. He gets to the temple. He sets the place on fire. He locks them up, starts burning them. He's just brutal. Go ahead.
They capture the king, the young king.
Yeah.
And when Kana shows up, it's nighttime. The fires are burning. Everything's going on. Everyone's covered in blood and just standing over all the bodies and stuff. The devastation and the realization of what he's a part of. And he shows up and he looks and he sees the young king on the ground, kneeling, and
it was sad.
The king of Maui's behind him, and the kid looks at Kana and he's like, I trusted you, like I looked up to you like a father figure, like I wanted to lead just like you. It's like how is this happening? And then using the same gift that Kana got him, the king, the weapon with the teeth, the shark teeth, slices his neck, man.
Yeah, that was brutal. And that was it, man. We see it. He's just vicious. There was just a ploy just to take over this location, this other island. That's it. Yeah. That's all he wanted to do.
It's kind of like reverse Lion King.
It's just right. That's pretty sad.
He teams up with Scar, destroys everything. It's like, wait.
Oh man.
But yeah.
But now he's trying to figure this out now, right? Kana, he was trying to figure out like what do we got to do? Because then he goes back and talks to his brother and like, we got to get out of here. He's like, well, we can't leave right now. They're watching us. They're watching all of this. They're not going to let us just go. And so then while they're at the beach, that's when he gets word that Uncle wants to talk to him. Got some plans.
So he goes into his tent earlier. And then when the uncle shows up as to go into the tent to speak with him, he finds the weapon that he had just given him, the one that belonged to Kana's father, broken. And so they're like, where is he? So let's look for him. It starts storming. And they find a bunch of, bodies of his own men. I guess Kana took him out with his guys. And then they were gone. And he's like, well, I know where they're going. They're not going to leave. Because Heka, the one that they left behind, was the sister of, I guess, the wife of Kana.
This is where it got tricky for me. Trying to figure all this, like the sister of the niece. Because, all right, explain. Because I was already.
Well, this is much later. So
yeah, no, but that's her.
No, that's not.
See, there you go. I'm already lost.
That's a whole other thing. All right, let's break it down. And I'm sure whoever's listening wants to get this down. So it's Kana, his wife, or I mean, they never really said anything, but they were talking about having kids. So I'm assuming that's his partner. Her sister, who's married or dating one of his brothers, the guy with the big poofy hair. They seem to be in a relationship. When they all gathered together, when the prince came to get him from their initial island, they went to Maui, and instead of taking her, because I guess she doesn't really fight like that, they left her to gather because she was making offerings to honor them or to make sure that they were okay in battle. So her name is Heka. They leave her, and when they went to Oahu and this whole thing happened to be, the king already knows that they're heading back to Maui so that they could get her back.
Well, yeah.
And that's that, at least right now in the first episode.
Yeah, because then they head over and they show up and she's like, oh, everything is great. Where's Kana? Oh no, he's not. He went running off to try to distract them, just to lure them away, so that way his brothers can go back and hopefully escape this whole thing, because he knew it was going to be a problem. And then that's when we start getting into episode 2. And it starts off with just him running. These guys are all after him now. This is just rough. Just rough. He's not having a good 2 days. Because I'm assuming that's all this was, right?
They found him quick. They just showed up on the island.
Yeah. I mean, well, what do you mean? They found Kayana? They
Kayana.
found Kana. Yeah, well,
they didn't capture him, but the prince. I'm just gonna call him the prince, the son of Kelikani.
Well, they found this track, but one of the
Yeah.
parts that starts off for episode 2, and this was the Hawaii, the king, right? Because now we're back in Hawaii. Well, we're at Hawaii here, and we see the king, and he just gets word of everything that's happened over in.
We're not in Hawaii yet.
We are in Hawaii because it started at the beginning of the episode.
We're in Maui in the beginning of this episode.
But then it jumps into. All right, go ahead.
They didn't go to Hawaii yet. That's later.
Holy moly!
It says Kingdom of Maui, Kapu Coast. We wrote it down.
Yeah. But
She's
then
the Maui. No. We don't go to Hawaii yet.
Okay.
We're at the Kapu Coast. We see a new character, Kamanu, right? And she's looking up at the stars, and she's there with some guy, and the guy pulls up next to her, and she's like, "Can you tell me the story again about the stars and how we got here?"
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, men, this is a story for men." I mean, he seemed like he was kind of joking, but
then she started singing Moana, and it was just crazy.
And she was talking about, I want to go out there. Like, how can we find the other lands? What if there's more out there? And he's like, well, if there's more out there, it's nothing like this. Like, we got to stay here. And so then we're back in the kingdom of Oahu. Kelikili's son is annoyed with his father that the plan wasn't the same as what he initially thought. And
this is what I didn't get, because at this point it's like the son's turning. Like, hey, wait a minute, Dad, this wasn't the plan. Well, why are you doing this? It almost seemed like he was conflicted with all this.
Yes.
But as we see later on, no, he doesn't really give a shit. Like, he still knows his role, and he's like, he's gonna fall in line under his dad's role. But at this point, he was playing like, hey, this is not right. We shouldn't have done this. It's like, oh no, this is what we had to do. It's all a prophecy. In fact, you know what? When you go find this dude, don't even kill him. We need his mana. That's the first I've heard of that, right? They brought that up. They're like, we need that, his essence.
Yeah, I've heard that before. I feel like The Rock has talked about that mana, just the essence, the energy of a person. Yeah. So at this point, he doesn't even care about him being alive.
He was like, just bring him back. He's like, this is it. We got to get him in. So
yeah. So they head to Maui, and then they're trying to track him down, and he's with his family, and they're trying to find Heka. And they're like, okay, maybe we should split up because there's too much going on right now. Like, these guys are on our tail. And I think they kind of corner Kayani.
They did. There was 2 parts. There was 2 times that happened.
Yeah.
They cornered, but then he split off. I thought they got him right away, but then you see when that prince shows up there, that's when he says, right, you split, you go this way. But it looked like
they found him and it was done.
Yeah, we thought they found him done.
Well, because that's when his family was like, it's too many to fight right now. Like, they'll kill us if we fight them all right now. So we have to split up. Let's go find Heka and figure this out.
And then just bounce. Yeah. And then it's a little later after that, he's running through the woods area. Really cool chase scene here. And it looks like he's going to get away, and a slingshot just catches him. Back of the head?
Back of the head, yeah.
Right? He drops. It was like, oh, this is a wrap. And I'm pretty sure this is when we started getting the cuts, because it was splicing in back and forth with the niece of the Hawaii, the chief of Hawaii.
So this girl, Kamanu, right? She's speaking with her father. Her father used to be
this one here, people, if you're watching. This girl, to the left there.
Her father used to be a chief in Hawaii. He's now married to the sister of the king of Maui now.
Yeah,
so
the evil king,
our main
aka uncle. Yes, his wife's sister. It's so crazy.
No. The king's sister, literally.
Yeah, that's the king's sister.
Is married to the guy that left Hawaii, and they have a daughter, and the daughter is this one character here, Kamanu. And they're like, well, we have to leave. Like, he attacked Maui. I mean, he attacked Oahu. We got to find a way to get out of here. And then the father says, okay, we're going to go to Hawaii. She's like, how could we go to Hawaii if I'm the sister of the guy that's doing all this? Like, they're not going to welcome me. And then he's like, they will. He's like, I'm going to make an agreement, marry a chief. And he looks at his daughter, and she's like, I didn't agree to this. Like, I don't want to do this. And he's like, you will.
Know your role.
Know your place. And she runs off.
Yeah. Yeah, that I didn't understand. I was like, he's got all these other people around. I was like, just grab her. We got to go. Let's just get this happening. But she ends up living in a cave. That was her mom, that older lady there, or was
Yeah, that
that
was her
her?
mom. That
That
was
was
her
her
mom.
mom, right? Because she said she was staying. She told her husband, like, "Oh, this is my land." Da da da. But that part I didn't really get, especially since he already said he made a deal. He made some arrangements. I was like, well, then come on,
My
get
thing
on
is,
the
why
boat.
are they there? Like, if they're in hiding this entire time,
I don't know.
like, does the king? And I'm sure we'll get more of this, but obviously the king knows about his sister, but like doesn't know that she's married, doesn't know she has a kid, or they just live on the opposite of the side of the island because she knows a lot of the stuff. Like, anyways, that comes up
Yeah.
soon, but the sailors come ashore. English sailors come ashore. We hear the bell of their ship, and they pull up.
Where was it?
A
I
little
think we
further.
had it. There we
Yeah,
go.
here we go.
Oh, yeah. We
They
got
pull
some
up.
British sailors show up, and it looks like they're merchants, but they're making a pit stop just to get some stuff here. All right. So
Yeah,
they're
they're
like, all
probably
right.
hungry.
Yeah, and that was it. They're like, all right, let's get ashore. Let's just grab what we can. Let's do that whole thing. But once they get on shore, it's actually we get a cut away from them because then it goes back to Kamanu and running through and having his own issues and fighting and killing some, but he's banged up at this point.
So we go back to Kamanu, who's she's in the cave, and her mother approaches her with an oil, I guess, to just make her more like a scenting kind of thing, and a new dress, a new outfit. And she's like, I don't want to do this. Like, I have a storm within me that longs for different things. And she's like, this is the storm. Like, this is your chance. This is your life. Like, this is what we have to do.
That's what we have to do. This is how things go. She said she grew up in that cave. I don't get that. There's like nothing there. It's just rocks and water.
She's hiding.
I know, but that's one thing to say. All right, this is where I hide. But it's nothing when you say, hey, I grew up here. My entire life has been in this cave. I want more of my life. Well, shoot, anything's better than this. You are about to become a princess. Remember, she says that, right? To something to that effect. Hey, I'm going to marry a chief.
Yeah.
This is it. You're going from the cave to the top. What is the problem? But
so she leaves the cave because the cave is right by the shore, which comes in handy later. But she walks out and she's looking up and she's just like, I don't know, like praying or like talking to herself or thinking. And then we see Talua.
Yeah.
Up here.
The seer pops up again.
And she's popped up before. We didn't mention it, but she popped up before with Kana as well. And she spoke to him about his role and a lot of different things. So she has some deep insight. But she shows up and she's like, you requested me. What do you need to know? And she's like, well, what is my fate? Like, what's going to happen to me? And basically she's saying that you're going to marry a chief. If you marry the chief, it's not going to turn out well. You're going to disappoint the chief and your father. And then she all of a sudden stops, looks up again, and she's like, there is fear. She's like, at me? She's like, no, the gods fear you.
Yeah.
You're gonna destroy everything. It's you.
You're the downfall of all of it. And she's like, what? She's freaking out. She looks back at the seer. Seer's gone again.
I have a theory, and it's not really a spoiler.
Go ahead.
I just have a theory.
Say it.
What other way could she bring everything down? She falls in love with, a European or somebody from, the Western world or something,
and could be
brings about the massive change.
It could work, but then again, she doesn't have a high position. It's not one of those situations.
But I'm saying it's just like the influence of her and what she goes towards, because she has a path that's laid out for her. The only thing, because the world's not going to end. What would be the end of what? The kingdoms, the idea of their foundation and their culture, which, as you know, throughout history, like, things change. So for Hawaii, so it's like
speaking of history, remember the sailors threw up that whole little thing about Captain Cook. Yeah, and they're like, hey, we want to stay here a little bit, but we don't want to stick around too long and end up like Cook, because he tried to kidnap the Hawaii chief, and that didn't go well, and they killed him.
Yeah, so that puts us like 1780s.
Yeah, around that. But this is after that at some point. So after probably Cook. Around that time. But so while she's going through all this in the cave and having these visions with the seer, we have Kayana, and he's running through, and he finds his way to that cave. I don't think that was the plan, though. I think it was just trying to get away, but it just happens to be her cave.
It was cool how he got away too, because they almost caught him, and he saw a boar.
Oh yeah, it's the boar.
And he saw the boar, and then he was like, "Oh, I can't get near that." And boars are vicious. Some of you may not really know. I mean, I feel dumb for finding this out recently, but like, they're like, don't mess with them.
I found out from the show Lost. Shout out to everybody that has watched Lost. And if you make it this far through our coverage, thank you. Please give a like, subscribe, and shout out to the people that love Lost. Been rewatching that with my daughter, but there are so many scenes where they're hunting boar, and that's what we learned from Locke, is that they're very territorial and they're protective of their little piglets. So that's what he sees here. He sees one of them. It's near him. He's like, you know what? They're gonna come after me. The boar. They're very protective. So he picks one up and he throws it toward the warriors that are chasing after him. And then, of course, the big boar, the mama, the papa, whatever, go running in that direction and
knocking people down.
Just knocking them down, just like pins.
So Kayana is now still injured from that rock that had hit him before with the slingshot. There's this big guy that just like is really just about finding him and killing him. Like, he's in his mind, Kayana's the traitor in this whole thing. So he's by the beach, and we see that same cave that we had seen previously.
Now, was it in this part or before this part? I think it was before this part, but there was another big dude that approached him. And remember with the whip, and he like whipped this thing around his throat, and he went running and he pulled him against a tree, and then he kept wrapping around and killed him, and then left him tied up to a tree.
I thought it was gonna be like a long battle. He just like took him out.
No, he took him out quick. That was pretty brutal. I've never seen a death that way, but yeah. So but there's another big dude, and he's pissed, and he has all this smack to talk about. He's like, "Oh, there's an ancient guy." What was it? He said something about like him running around my island is like a rat.
A rat in my home.
A rat in my home. I'm like, really? You got these one-liners stored away? You're throwing some zingers over here. Come on.
The prince was like, "You capture him, you keep him alive. I want to, be the one to get him." And then the other guy was like, "I'm finding him. I'm killing him." Like,
yeah, that's not happening.
But we find him in that cave. He's falling apart. He's dizzy, and in the cave, the girl that was there before, she finds him again. And let's go to a couple previous images.
Yeah, that was a previous one. Go ahead. Let's keep going.
Back. She finds him.
Oops.
One more to the left. Here we go. She finds him, and he takes out his his weapon. And he's trying to defend himself. He can't really see too well, and she's like, you're injured." And he's like, "Stay away from me. People after me. Your blood will be on my hands as well." Like, and she's like, "I'm gonna take care of you." So she basically has him rest. She mends him a little bit. They start a fire in the cave, and they get to talking. And this is where we find out a little bit more about her. Her father was a chief in Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, her whole backstory.
Yeah, suppose the whole backstory. She's dealing with a lot of issues. He's dealing with a lot of issues. They both have a common enemy. She has jokes of her own because he's like, "Yeah, I'm a chief of war," and she was like, "Yeah, and you're running from a war. What's up with that?"
Chief of contradictions. She calls
him. Chief of contradictions. Yep, she's throwing out the zingers.
But
everybody's got jokes.
She says she spent her entire life hiding from Kili. And she's like, "Well, I see the markings of Maui on you. Like, you were a chieftain. Like, so how come I don't know you?" And he's like, "I've never seen you before." So it's a kind of a like, this is just like a little plot. I don't know if we're perceiving this wrong, but like, what is her deal? Like, she was just in hiding.
I think this is a very long, deep, true story. What they're trying to condense.
Yes,
and that's it. There's some things that are going to be left out of it that fill in those holes. But definitely, there has to be a lot more. I can't believe that she's been living in this cave. It looks just like a cave. It's not even decorated. There's nothing there. And she's like, "This is it. I'm stuck in this little box here, but I have to go get married off now." And she puts on the headdress piece. I'm like, "Oh, well, you know what? I have a canoe waiting for me. So you can go get your family. We could all go, and maybe a new life for you too. This will be great. We'll take a trip together."
Yeah.
And he was like, "What?" He was like, "Oh, all right, let's get out of here."
So they leave. and we see one of the guys from the ship actually walking around, and one of the Maui men, one of Kelikili's guys, knocks him out and takes his pistol. And then
question with that, because as we see with Ani, he doesn't know what that is. Like, he brought it up later on. We'll get to that when that happens. But do you think this guy knew what he picked up? That it was a weapon? Or was he going to use it as like a blunt weapon? Did he, you know what I mean?
Maybe,
would he know to shoot it like a gun? I don't think so.
I'm sure because did Cook come with just knives, or did they have guns yet? Or maybe he just never interacted with that. That was before his time as well.
Yeah. I don't know. It gets tricky. But yeah. So we see that. Then we got that other scene where they show up with to meet up. Well, they meet in front of the British sailors, and it's like a standoff. One of the guys from the sailors picks up a musket, points it. Captain's like, hey, put that down. Kaani cracks a joke, almost like, why is he pointing? Yeah, I think, why is he pointing a stick at me? What is this? And then she's trying to explain, I think they're just hungry. And it's like, wow, you're really sticking up for these people? Like, it just seems like if I come across these people that definitely don't look like anyone else within my from my community, the islands, I'm gonna be like, wow, who are you? What's happening here? But it just happened so quick. And maybe it's because of the situation. He doesn't have time to think about all this.
There was also a lot of guys.
There was a lot of guys.
He's trying to assess the situation. She seems more aware, and she's like, no, just back off.
And maybe there was some interaction already. Maybe because she did say something about that. She remembers some of the stories before her time. And I'm assuming she's talking about the whole Cook situation.
Yeah, she seems more receptive.
Yeah. She's not all freaked out by the whole thing. But while they're doing the standoff situation, he takes out his weapon.
Yeah, Marley shoots.
No, he throws it, and
Marley shoots. The guy's name is Marley. He shoots at Kayani, missing him.
I thought the captain lifted up his musket. Like he
went to shoot, but it like missed him completely, and it hit the tree behind him. And then next, we get the prince and everybody nearby hearing it, and then one of the captains of the ship turns around. He's like, "You just gave up our whole location. Like, we gotta get out of here."
Yeah.
And then right before they leave, that's it. And that's when the uncle's one of his soldiers, those guys go running in, and he gets taken out thanks to Kayani with a knife. Or where did he get that from? That dagger? I don't remember him having that. Because he pulled it out before. He was holding it, and I thought he was going to attack them after the shot was fired. And the camera work was really cool with this because he just throws it. I was like, is he trying to kill the guy that just shot at him? But he killed one of the men from Maui.
Yep, he goes, he takes it, and then he runs off. He just leaves them. He's like, all right, I got things to do. I got to get out.
He turns to the girl, and he's like, look, we got to go separate ways. Like, find my family. He takes off his necklace. He's like, give this to her. Give this to my wife. Tell her that, to follow you. Tell her that I'm okay. Go to the boat. I'll hopefully draw them away, and we'll figure this out.
Yeah. And he goes out there. He's going to do what he did prior to this, because it's the same thing. He's trying to lure the rest of these soldiers away from his family. He's still trying to keep them safe. But at the same time, we do get a cut from the brothers, and they're conflicted. They find
Heka.
Yeah, they find Heka. They're like, all right, let's go. It's like, no, we wait. We're going to wait. It's like, no, we can't wait. And then they start fighting.
They started fighting.
Fighting. And it's like, oh, man, I'm getting Goonie vibes here. Remember when the two brothers from Goonies, they were constantly fighting? The Fratellis? Oh, I was like, they choking, they banging each other's heads against the floor. I always remember that. I'm
like you used to do to me when I was little.
Just a little, not a lot. You turned out okay. You got a few lumps. It's all right. But this was brutal. I was like, what if he stabs the other one? It's like, shoot. But they're getting crazy with this. But then that's when she shows up. Perfect timing. And she was like, hey, look, this is it. This solves everything. Here's his medallion, his chain thing. Saying, get off this island. Leave. And that's what they needed. They needed.
Everyone was leaving. Everyone was getting on the boats. They pull her onto the boat. The mom says goodbye to Kamanu. And then we see a guy approaching, and I'm like, who is this? And it's the guy that was knocked out previously, which I thought wouldn't be a recurring character, but he walks up, not this guy in particular, but
It was another dude, but
His
this
name is
guy,
John.
the fact that we have this image and he didn't really play a major part in this episode, besides acknowledging, he was like, wait, hold on, wait, we shouldn't, you know what I mean? He didn't do much. He
Yeah.
said a few lines and then that was it. I don't know why they emphasized that. Oh, he's a character. Okay, maybe later.
Maybe he'll play a bigger part later. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe later. But right now he's not. But yeah, that other guy that we thought was dead.
His name is John. He approaches the ship and he's like, my ship left. I'm lost. I don't know where I am. And everyone's like, no, we can't let this guy on, which is just so crazy. This guy just pulled up and tried to talk to him like that. But Kamanu was like, yeah, let him on.
See, they're very nice. Very nice people. Very nice. But yeah, things get crazy from here on. That's it. While we're seeing this, and then also the British sailors also hightailing it out. They're like, yeah, we're leaving this island. We're done. This is they haven't even been on the island like an hour, and already they got attacked and they almost killed a man, and it's just too much going on. Too much. So then everyone's leaving, right? Everybody needs to leave Maui. Right? Everybody gotta get out. But Keani, he can't get out. He's having trouble still. He's trying to run. He's got all these guys gathered around him. Now he finds himself at a cliffside, which makes sense because they're all around the ocean side, and it is an island. So you're hit a dead end at some point. And he's like, you know what? I'm gonna stand my ground. And the outcome is what I thought was gonna happen. Right? I mean, did you really see? Well, no, I take that back. I didn't think it was going to be like that, but I knew he was going to get some licks in, and he did. And they went all out with the brutality.
He was slicing stomachs and stuff. It's always funny to me when things happen like this, where it's like one guy at a time. But what they did, which I liked, was like one guy would hold him, and then another guy would come over and start kicking him and stuff. Because like in every action movie, it's like always everyone's just like waiting for their turn.
Yeah. You didn't see it. I think you didn't see it. That show C that also starred Jason Momoa. We brought this up. Anybody who go ahead, leave in the comments if you remember. Jason Momoa had another show. It's like 4 seasons. C. Everyone's blind. There are some people that can see, but pretty much the majority of people are blind. And his fight style was like he had a stick, but like a whip thing, and he would get real low and he was swinging around for their legs. But once he found them, boy, he was like whipping in and he was grabbing them. And if he got a hold of you, you were dead. You were dead. It was brutal. And that's what this reminded me of, because it was like, well, like you said, it was one-on-one. But then once another one would come in, just when he's about to, well, pretty much once he killed off one, he would just use a weapon to fling around or do a tumble roll and then grab the other guy and then just spew his guts. It was something to see, because even that big boss dude who was watching from a distance, you could see he had his mouth open. He's like sort of amazed. Like he's like, yo, is he gonna do this? Is he gonna kill all of them? Am I gonna have to go down there? Yeah,
and he does. He gets them down. They knock him down, and honestly, I wasn't sure if they were gonna just take him back or something. I felt like they were gonna capture him.
They wanted to. They at least the ones that were beating on him grabbed him, lifted him up like they were gonna bring him back. But then the big dude
for a deserter.
Yeah, that's what he says. The big dude. Now this is it. Go for it. This is it. This is the big moment.
He goes to go kill him or stab him, and then the prince is running because like he wants to get involved in this. And we see like just through his blurry vision, the guy's about to like attack him, and then he grapples him. He kicks the person down. He flips over, and then he turns and sees the prince running at him, and he turns back to the big guy and he grabs him, and they both jump off the cliff.
Did he jump over? The way I saw it, he speared that guy.
No.
He speared the big dude.
Like a wrestling movie.
Yeah, it looked like he speared him.
Not literally.
No, not literally, but like he pulled a Roman Reigns, and he went and he just speared him off the side of the cliff there. They look down, they're in shock. They don't see anybody. But
Prince is like, find the body.
Find the body. And
we see visions. Yeah, we see visions of things. One of the Taula, we see blood, we see the everything that we saw previously in the episode kind of flashing back, and then he wakes up.
Very fast flashbacks.
He wakes up and he starts freaking out. He knocks a guy down. He's in the ship. Downstairs on the ship. He's freaking out.
There's a merchant ship. Those are the sailors. They picked him up. They said, hey, we saved your life. And then he can look off in the distance and see there's Maui. There's all the islands. He was like, whoa. He doesn't know. We're not going back. We're not going back, buddy. This is it. Can you speak English? It's like, this is it. We are converting you. You are one of us now. One of us, one of. But I mean, he pretty much says like, hey, this was, you helped us out. You saved us. So consider this even, on this situation. We just saved you. We picked you up. So I'm assuming, this is my thought, when he speared the guy, they go falling. When we saw at the bottom, it was just rocks
In the ocean.
and in the ocean, and he used him as a shield. That cushioned his blow. That big burly dude.
Crazy that he happened to just float out to sea too and get picked up.
Yeah. Especially
really
considering the waves are just bashing against the side of the island. It's not really going to pull you out unless you were further out on the beach side. Usually in those areas, you're just crashing against the rocks. But hey,
I think
he made it.
I think this story is really cool, especially with the roots in history. I mean, from what we know about Kana, is that really he ends up traveling the world, and he's one of the first well-traveled Hawaiians in history, and documented by other people. I mean, according to here, he traveled China, North America, and parts of Asia. So other parts of Asia. So it's really.
Yeah,
really
I
cool.
definitely want to look up more on this for the historical accuracy. With
I feel like I've never heard of him before, and what I really like about this is it's really shedding light on culture in Hawaii, like its original.
Did we mention at the beginning that this was also produced and co-written by Jason Momoa?
No, I don't think we did.
I don't think we mentioned. Yeah, this is his project. This is something that he really wanted to do and get involved in.
I think it's beautiful. It's going to definitely shed light on that. I feel like a lot of it has been muddled and other stuff.
So I'm sure the question a lot of people are asking that watch this, or if they didn't and they're hearing us talk about it, is the rest of the season going to be in Hawaiian? I don't think so. I think at this point, speaking wise, just with subtitles, the whole thing. I think now that he's on the merchant ship, they're going to teach him English. It's going to have to figure something out with the language barrier there.
Like a time jump or something.
Yeah. Because like you said, I mean, the show hasn't gone there, but from what you've looked up with the true story of this person, he travels around. So he has to pick up the language at some point. And then we'll see how that all goes full circle when he does return back. Because I'm assuming that's the end game, right? Because that's the story that he unifies the islands. So there you go, people.
Good. It was really good. I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, it was surprising. Not a lot of chatter with this show. Some other big outlets that I cover, that I listen to and I check out, and they're like talking about stuff. And they openly said there's nothing coming out this summer. Two outlets say this. Nothing coming. This is August 1st, people. We got 2 episodes, and this is continuing on. It's like 9 episodes. Pretty sure it's 9 episodes. So this is happening. This is a new show, and it's good. It's very well put together. The production value, no surprise, is up there. It's all filmed on location. They didn't film this in Manhattan Beach over in California, okay, people? There's no blue screens. If they were, it's amazing, but no, it looks like it was all filmed on location. Right? Imagine they're like, "Oh, we fooled everybody." Right? It's all off
Santa Monica Pier.
Right? Yeah, you can see. Oh man, don't tell me that.
Honestly, I think this is such a great role for Jason Momoa too. It's like he's had a lot of action roles and things like this, and it's like he's just a spectacular actor in general. But like this seems like once it falls upon the right audience and people that are dedicated to following the show, it could really be something. It's
really, if you're into history, I'm sure a lot of history people are going to just jump in on this. I'm like, oh, this is great. Yeah, and it's a little over the top with the action, with the
mysticism and the stuff,
and the mysticism and stuff. But at the core of it, it's telling a very serious story, an intriguing story. So I'm looking forward to it. And there we go, people. Thanks. We didn't want to make this too crazy, too long. There was a lot that happened. That's why we you know what? Let's just put these both together in one video. And we will be back for episode 3. All right, everybody. So thanks again. Thanks for making it this far. Please like, subscribe. My name's Adam. That's Josh. And we'll see you next week. Later.